trial you must complete. Defeat me and prove your worth to chaos.
As it should be. I'm not ready.
My service is finally over.
I have passed your tests. This is over.
And my service continues.
I need more time.
Hey guys, sorry if I'm not that fluent in English. This is gonna be my first video trying to explain the build that I've been playing in the patch. This is gonna be like an update of my previous video that I did. The build has been through quite a few changes, I will say. First of all, we can start with the items that we got. It's basically the same maze, but I did spam like two whittling orbs on it, trying to hit like flat fist, but I didn't hit flat fist. I hit like the max tier of flat lightning, and at the beginning I thought that was like really bad, but in reality it made us that we can shock now the enemies. So that's like on pinnacle bosses it's like 20 to 30% more damage, I think. So that's a huge plus. I think that maybe, well, I use POV, and if it would have hit like the max tier flat fist, it would be like 5 to 10% more damage, but I can settle with like the highest tier of lightning damage. Like I'm not feeling that I'm missing like a lot of damage, and I'm pretty much two-shotting pinnacle bosses. So for me it's okay. The build, it's okay with keeping like the flat lightning there. The important stuff is like that it is a very fast weapon with 21% attack speed, and plus level 2 melee skills. This is not like the highest tier, but it's like the second highest tier, I think. And very important for us is that it has the stat of leech physical damages mana. So every time we hit the Sunder, we recover all the mana that we spend, because it's like a lot of damage that we're doing, so we are pretty much always recovering the mana that we are spending. You can have it on gloves or on rings, but I usually get it on the weapon because sometimes it makes them cheaper. So there's that. In the gloves, we have this not the best, but it has strength, dexterity, and increased attack speed, and high tier maximum life with some accuracy rating and armor. The armor is not really relevant. The important stuff is like the maximum life and increased attack speed. For me, it's important having dexterity in the gloves because I'm using attrition on pinnacle bosses, and it makes it easier to have a higher tier attrition. And even on normal bosses from maps, I'm using Sniper's Mark, and with more dexterity, I can run like a higher tier of Sniper Smart. Then I'm using on maps this helmet on my weapon set 1 that is for mapping. It's like a high accuracy rating helmet with maximum life, fire resistance, chaos resistance, and it had another mod. I use wielding on this and hit like lightning resistance. I was gonna use more wieldings on it, but I didn't really care, so I used like a corruption omen, and it ended up getting like the second socket, so that's pretty good. This is just for mapping, and when I'm bossing I quickly change to the deepest tower that has I corrupted it myself too, and it has 2 sockets, so I can have like more strength. I can put max life too there. I don't really change it because I'm only using it on bosses, so it doesn't really matter. We are Smith of Kitava, so it's a normal body armor with 3 sockets, almost the highest tier of regenerate life, and I'm not running like the high 5% regenerate life per second, because I'm also using Orpus Storm that is giving me like a font of rage, font of life, I think it's called, font of mana, and persistence. Give me a quick sec. So I'm running like max life, reduced crit damage bonus, increased strength, and physical damage from hits taken as fire damage. So basically that made us almost immortal on maps. I'm still not running that mod that penetrates like 25% from elemental resistances. That mod is still pretty crazy, because even with having 75% block chance, the hits that end up passing through hit like for like 2000 of our life, and it's not like we have 10k life or something like that. No, it's like one hit and you're half life, and if another one hits you, you're basically dead. So that's why we are not running that mod. We have the Inferno class belt. It's pretty much the easiest belt that you can get to cap your maximum fire resistance, and we being Smith of Kitava, that means that the maximum fire resistance also apply to the other elemental resistances, so that's pretty good. And you can have it with like a corruption that lets you get 3 more maximum fire resistance. I got it with 2 pretty early in the league, so I'm still not hasn't changed it, but I'm looking for like one that has more charm slot, because now they can roll with that implicit, but they are still a little expensive, so I'm just gonna wait a little bit, and there's not really any charm that I need to put right now. The boots that we have, I bought them from desperation, because I corrupted the last ones that I had and they bricked pretty hard. So they are 35% movement speed boots with maximum life, strength, and chaos resistance. If you want to upgrade them even more, it will have like another elemental resistance, preferably fire resistance, but there's none. I corrupted him and got 20% cold resistance, which is pretty good. But I will definitely prefer like another socket, so I can play with the increased presence of fire effect, so I can use the benefits from this helmet from further away from some bosses. But from now it's still working pretty good. The shield corrupted myself too. 2 sockets with high increased block chance, high life, strength, physical damage reduction, and fire resistance. The additional physical damage reduction is pretty low. I think it's the lowest tier there is, but at least it has 2 sockets, so that's okay. We are not dying from like a ton of physical damage, but even if like our life drops, we have this flask that I bought recently. This is what made this build from being like kind of tanky with the resistances to being basically immortal, because this overcaps your, this gives you ward from the amount that overcaps at the moment that you press the life flask. So if you use Infernal Cry, that I have it with life tap, it will reduce your life by like 200, but then you press instantly the flask and you're gonna get like a shield from approximately 1000 to 2000 life. So that is pretty crazy. It makes us from like a 4k life build to pretty much 6 to 7k life build, so that's pretty good. The rings, I'm using an Ancient ring so I can fit Orb of Storms. It has like flat lining, it's not mandatory. Life, mana, strength, intelligence, and fire resistance. Intelligence so I can use like the deepest tower. Then the other ring is an amethyst ring with flat fist, increased fire damage, max life, strength, and dexterity, all rest. And finally the amulet, it's I was looking for like an high spirit amulet with all attributes and strength and fire resistance. I think I bought this one for like 5 divines, and it had like 9 maximum energy shield. I used a wheeling and the 9 turned into a 33, which is still pretty bad. But I will keep it until I find something better, or I use another wieldings to try to get like rarity or something like that, or maximum life, which it will be pretty nuts, I would say. And yep, that's basically it for the year that I'm using. Well, this charm now it's pretty expensive. I think it's like 40 divines, but I bought it pretty cheap early in the league, like for 4 to 5 divines. It's definitely not necessary for the build. It just made it feel better for like a very little amount of time that you are getting slowed, and even then it's not like 100% reliable, because sometimes you are still getting slowed and that stupid charm doesn't like work. As you can see, I'm not using a second like the setup that most of the warriors use, that is using 200 weapons. I tried to use it. I didn't feel like I was getting like a ton of damage from it, as I was losing like the resistances, but I'm still using all the passive points for the weapons up, because I'm just like lifting up my shield. Lifting the shield, swapping the weapon, putting the other helmet and the weapon. So then how is the skills, what are the skills that I'm using for this build? There is basically Air Shatter to finish most of the trash mobs that are on the map. I use it with Upheaval, Splinter, Bloodlust, Close Combat, and Incision. So the blitz that we made on the bosses like are harder, and Splinter, so it breaks their armor faster. On bosses it worked pretty good because you only have to put like two Air Shatters and then blow it with explode it with Infernal Cry, and their armor is gonna break. If you wanna be safe, you can put the third one, but it's not necessary. And then you just use Sunder. Stampede for mapping. I'm using with Martial Tempo, Aftershock, Reverberate, Momentum, and Magnify Effect. Basically, you just use Stampede every time that you can, and most of the screen is gonna blow. If there is like a rare that is still alive, you use Air Shatter and blow it and explode it with Infernal Cry. If you wanna be like killer, you can even Sunder it, but it's like pretty much overkill. And then we use Sniper's Mark. This is a pretty big boost to our crit damage that we're doing with Sunder. I don't think this support gem is doing anything. I haven't tested, but I don't think it's working, or I'm just an idiot and don't know how it works. But yeah, pretty much Sniper's Mark without this is doing like all the damage that you need. Then Infernal Cry, you don't need to 6-link it. I just did it because who cares. I'm using Premeditation for 15% more damage than Enrage Cry, so it's another 30% more damage to the skill that I'm empowering. Life Tap, so when I use it on maps, it doesn't drain my mana. Ingenuity, this is just for mapping because I want to have it faster. And Raging Cry, and this is for bossing. Every pinnacle boss that you will run into, you just put Orb of Storms, so it runs till like 10 rage, and then when you blow it, you explode it with the boss in there, you're gonna get to 30 maximum, to your maximum rage, basically just for using the Infernal Cry. So the Sunder is going to do maximum damage. Orb of Storms with Font of Rage, Font of Mana, Font of Blood, and Persistence. This is just so I can have some rage when I'm about to enter like the pinnacle bosses. And when I'm doing ritual, it works well too there, because you just put it in there and spam Sunder when you are inside the Orb of Storms. Berserk, so like when we have rage, the effect of this one of the rage is like bigger, so basically more damage with precision, because we need accuracy to hit the enemies so we don't miss. Vitality, 1% maximum life, regeneration of maximum life. Herbalism, this makes our flask that says it gives us like 1,100. It basically gives us almost 2k life from the flask. Then we have Sunder. I use it with execute. Previously I had it with Fist of War, but I got pretty lazy of swapping it with execute when I'm doing bosses, so I just leave it with execute. So it's execute super critical, so it got 100% increase critical damage bonus, 0 red, so the bleed that we are leaving on the bosses, it's bigger. No, the duration of this bleed is longer. Heavy swing is less attack speed but 35% more damage, and lacerate, so we get like the over 50% of bleeding that we're missing. This makes us guarantee the bleed on the bosses. Seismic Cry, just to break their shatters. Lip Slam with Rage and Consecrated Ground. When I'm doing ritual, I place the Olroth Storm that is giving me life, and I jump into the Olroth Storm, and it basically gets to 400 life per second, so that's pretty good. On maps, I'm using Earl of Ash. Previously I was using Earl of Ice with the Pulse Seer Count ring, but I changed it because once the stats were not enough for me to run it, like I was running a pretty low tier Herald of Ice, like I think it was level 11 or something like that, so it wasn't doing the amount of damage that I wanted, and yeah, I just discarded, and it was only exploding when I was using Stampede, because I had to drop like one of the support and put Gold Infusion. But with Herald of Ash, is every skill that I use is proccing this overkill explosion, so that works pretty well in maps. And this doesn't like explode my PC, because with Earl of Ice I don't know what is happening with the particles that is using that skill, but my FPS, my frames drop to like 10 FPS, and at least with Earl of Ash I can keep it above 30 FPS, so for me that's a pretty big plus. Yeah, that's it for the skills, and now the interesting part, that is like the skill tree. I pretty much wanted to keep it functional to me in the way that I can run maps pretty quickly and be able to do pinnacle bosses. So as a warrior, if you wanted to combat like the clunkiness of the skills, you are obligated to have attack speed and skill speed. So these two wheels are like non-negotiables. You had to have it. Or so if you are going like this way, you can have this wheel too. Drop this one. Some warriors, when they are looking for stats, they usually come this way, and it will be pretty good if you can get this wheel on this, because this gives you like the same amount of attack speed than this wheel. That's pretty much it for the skills. And the anointment that I have, that is acceleration. This is for me a non-negotiable, as I was saying, because I wanted to feel fast on maps, and this give me 3% movement speed and 10% skill speed, which is pretty good in maps. The difference is noticeable. But if I didn't care about it, I will just anoint lay siege, save these 4 points and put it I will say here so I can get more damage. But for me acceleration works pretty good. It's like pretty much the thing that I value the most right now. When I'm on so this is using the 24 points that they give you for weapon swap, and the reason is because in my setup for maps it has all the aftershocks and well a little bit more of durability, like this node for maximum life, these nodes that are for capping my max elemental resistances, aftershocks, block chance, and that's pretty much it for the weapon set 1. And for my weapon set 2 there's all the this node that is for crit, these nodes that are for the bleed and the damage, and this is more damage. These two nodes, they are pretty significant increases of damage, but they reduce your attack speed by a lot. It's 15% reduce attack speed if you take all the notables, so that's a no for me when I'm mapping. But when I'm bossing, especially when I'm doing pinnacle bosses, I can set myself up so I can use it. But in maps I really don't want to have that penalty. Then I have all the bleeding stuff here on the weapon set 1, weapon set 2 with this one, and just that point for low life. My jewels that I'm using 2 rare jewels. This one gives me maximum fire resistance, attack damage, global physical damage, and rage on hit. And this one gives me block chance, maximum fire resistance, melee damage, and warcry speed. I'm on the hunt looking for like a better one, but I'm not in a hurry. This works pretty well, so I don't have a problem with that. Then we are using where is it? A megalomaniac that has internal bleeding. That is, I think, where is it? Yeah, I think is this one. Yeah, this one. 20% chance to aggravate bleeding and 30% increase damage with the power attacks, and it gives me a giant slayer that gives accuracy against rare and uniques, increased damage against rares, and increased chance to inflict ailments, so that means inflict bleeding. And with that I can I was previously taking these 3 notes to cap my bleeding chance, but with this one I can opt to get these notes that give more duration and more damage to the bleeding. That's with the megalomaniac. And from nothing, that lets me take these other 3 points for low life damage. This pretty much makes it that I can run every map very comfortable and do pinnacle bosses that it was the thing that I was really looking forward to. I haven't done tier 4 arbiter because that fight is pretty rippy, and I don't think with this build I can do like simulacrum. I haven't tried. I think I can do the first first 2 points, but further than that, I think it will drop pretty hard, because Stampede, I can see that it's not gonna do, like, it's not going to do the amount of damage that I need to finish the higher tiers of Simulacrum, and basically I will have to change or rearrange the points, but I don't really want to do that, so for now this is working really good. When I get to level 97, because I'm right now level 96, I will take this PowerPoint for more attack speed, so the build feel a little bit snappier. And yep, that's pretty much it. If you have any question, feel free to leave it on the comment section. I will probably leave a link to the POV that I'm using right now. Yep, that's pretty much it for me, guys. Bye.